This is the Module 4 Topic B quiz review. So the first direction that we have here is that we have to make sure that we're solving and simplifying. So 4 divided by 8 also means 4 divided by is what that line means, 8. When I look at these two, I notice that they both can be simplified. So if I divide them both by 4, I end up with 1/2. And that would be my final answer. Then over here, we have 5 divided by 4. So we do the same thing. 5 divided by 4. What I notice here is that the numerator is bigger than the denominator. Since the numerator is bigger, I have to ask myself, how many times can the denominator go into the numerator? It goes in 1 time. There's 1 left over out of 4. And that's how that one gets simplified. Next, fill in the blanks. To make it true, it doesn't ask me to simplify anywhere. So here's 22 divided by 9. So I do 22 divided by 9. 8 divided by 5. So 8 divided by 5. 3 divided by 8. So we have 3 divided by 8. This is where we run into a problem because all of a sudden we are now working with a mixed number and we have to make it improper. So I say 8 times 1 is 8, plus 3 is 11, and the denominator is an 8, so it stays as an 8. And now this says 11 divided by 8, so it is 11 divided by 8. And that's how I fill in those blanks and make the number sentences true. Next, we have more where we're moving even deeper and we're doing word problems. So now we're going to go through. We have a pizza shop that made 7 pizzas, each a different type. 3, even though it's written in words, it's still a number. 3 people want to share them equally. How many pizzas will each person get? So you ask yourself, am I splitting up the pizzas or am I splitting up the people? Well, I'm splitting up the pizzas. So that's first, and I do 7 divided by 3, and I end up getting 7/3. I notice that it's improper because I can't have a numerator that's bigger than the denominator. So 7 divided by 3, it goes in 2 times. There's 1 left over, and the denominator stays the same. And I have to make sure that I write pizzas because I need a label for it. Next, we have a kangaroo covered a distance of 4 yards in 7 equal hops. How many yards did the kangaroo travel on each hop? And it does say to draw a picture. So I have to ask myself, am I splitting up the hops or am I splitting up the yards? And in this case, I'm splitting up the yards. So since there's 4 yards, I'm going to draw them. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I want to split the yards up into 7 equal hops. So I'm going to split each of these yards into 7 pieces. And in each of them, I'm going to label them with their numbers. And with the Smart Pen, that's a little hard to do. So I'm going to just do it for one, but you should do it for every single one. And then you're going to ask yourself, how many yards did he travel? And I look at person number 1, or the kangaroo person, hop number 1. So here, 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 and here. There are 4 of them. And we're talking about sevenths. So the answer is 4/7 yards. A way to check that would say that we're doing 4 yards divided by 7 hops, and that makes sense that we got 4/7 yards. We have to make sure we have a picture and the numbers. Now it says, how many yards did the kangaroo travel after hopping 3 hops? Well, this was for 1 hop. So that's 1 hop. but I want for 3 hops, so I'm going to add 4/7, 1 hop, another 4/7 for a second hop, and another 4/7 for a third hop. When I add them, I get 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 12, and our denominator stay the same when we add. This is improper. Because it's improper, I need to make it a mixed number. And 7 goes into 12 one time. 5 is left over out of 7, and it's 1 5/7 yards for the 3 hops. Next, Mrs. Chen uses a total of 6 ounces of meat to make dinner for 4 people. What was the weight of the meat each person gets? Well, she's splitting up her meat, which is 6 ounces, by the 4 people. She ends up with 6 divided by 4 as well. It's improper, so we have to switch it. 4 goes into 6 one time, 2 left over out of 4. I have to look at this and say, you know what, I can divide this because it's not simplified. And I can divide each of them by 2. And I have to make sure I bring my whole number over. So I have 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And we're talking about ounces. And that's our review for Module 4, Topic B quiz.